Son of a bitch. There we go. Hello. How is everyone? How y'all doing? Everyone's good. Trying to just keep it all together, you know? Because I'm tired of fucking crying. I'm so tired of fucking crying. I'm tired of crying. I'm tired of asking why the fuck? What the fuck? I'm just, and I'm tired of being lied to. Made those files. I'm in the files. I was told a few days ago on a live that by several people that have read the files that my memories that I've talked about are in those goddamn files. And then I asked someone I've known for 20 years who works for the government, supposedly part of that cult too. I don't trust him either. I said, he's like, hey, what's going on? I said, am I in those files? He's like, no, I told you you're safe. I'm like, no, you're not. I told you you're safe. And I said, then why are my memories in those files? But I haven't read them, but I've been told they're in there. And then he says, that's why I was coming out to talk to you in person, and I have some things to show you. And he's worried because there have been survivors, victims that have been taking their own lives and things like that. And I said, I'm not going to do anything like that. It's just, this is fresh to me. I'm just finding this out. I don't remember being taken to the islands. I don't. Because I was so screwed and so medicated and everything that they had me on and putting in my system. I do know now that we never lived in that apartment that had the canopy bed, that had the tunnel in it. But I was taken there a few times. I only remember being there a few times, but never really overnight. I remember one time, it was like I was awake but not awake, it seemed. Like everything seemed like really cloudy. And I was little, I was a kid, and I hear them saying, "Oh, look at her, haha, she's sleepwalking." And I went over. I remember kind of staggering over, and I grabbed the can of Pepsi, and I took a drink of it, and then I set it back down, and yeah. So, tell me I'm not in the files, but so why would you have to come to my house from another state to talk to me in person and show me shit? Then tell me to call you at 2 p.m. today, and then you don't answer your fucking phone. Okay. I'm doing this on my fucking own, motherfucker. I've done it on my own this entire time. With a little bit of help from a few people that had nothing to do with law enforcement or anything. I'm done with the bullshit games that they're playing. I do not trust him. I only trust one person in this entire world. One person in this whole fucking world. And I always have. I have something to do with being in love with the man too, though, you know. And I am super excited his song is being released tonight. Can't wait to hear it. It's my favorite song of all time, and it hasn't even been released yet. So I'm coping with everything the best I can. You know, I'm the type that I find something out. It's gonna be a couple days that I have to process and deal with it, come to terms with it, like this. Even if, yeah, it's fucking major and that, but for me, I can't think of it like that because I refuse to let it destroy me or take over my life. I refuse to let anything destroy me or take over my life because that's not me. No matter what, I will never let anything or anyone destroy me because I've been through the worst. I've been through the worst of it. And I feel so bad that the others are going through what they're going through. I think the reason that I was never kept on the island or don't remember, other than being very highly medicated, and shit, is because I had already escaped and been seen. And there were other children in the house. And other children in the apartments and in the neighborhood and that. So, you know, they couldn't just keep me on this island or whatever repeatedly. But they did what they did for however long they did, and yeah. Frankie's new album is going to be released tonight in about 4 hours and 46 minutes. Yes, I count the minutes. So, it's been confirmed without being confirmed that I am in those files. It took me a few days to deal with it, process it, and even today, earlier today, I was just. So I'm doing the best I can and hanging in there, and I refuse to let anything destroy me, anything or anyone. But I do not I don't trust him. The you know the person I've known for 20 years. I don't trust him. Obvious reasons. Um, I only trust one person in this entire world. So there would only be one person I would ever feel safe with. Unless, it's my biological, if it's my real family, then that's different. But other than that, he's the only one. And his family, but so I don't know what's gonna happen. But if he or they or whatever think they're gonna take me somewhere to keep me safe, whatever, uh, yeah, no, we're not doing that. I'm not going. No. I would tell them that too. The only no. You want me to be safe somewhere and actually feel safe and know that I'm safe? Well, you got to talk to this person. That's the only person I will ever feel safe around, except my biological family. Whenever that, you know, at some point, I'm sure I'll feel safe with them. But until then, lay person, yeah. But it's very odd because earlier, I don't know what it was. I just all of a sudden I just had this. I have this very very strong feeling that someone or some ones plural are going to be coming to see me for a visit. So it was like I was supposed to get everything done, make sure there's no leftovers in the fridge. Um, get my laundry all done. I don't know. It's weird. But I feel like I'm going to have a visitor or visitors very soon. I don't know how soon, but soon. And I don't know who. I don't know. That's just it. I just feel like I have this very strong feeling. Like, kind of like when I talk about it, I get like, electric, static throughout my body. That I have a very strong feeling that I'm going to be having either a visitor or visitors very, very soon. And that's why I was supposed to get everything done. And so I did. My last load of laundry is in the dryer. So I have this. I can't explain it. But I don't know, something told me to get everything done. Make sure the laundry was done. Make sure, take a shower, take a everything shower. I don't know why. But just make sure everything's done. And I just have this. No, I just have a really, really strong feeling. And when I'm talking about it, and I'm getting like this electric static throughout my body. And the feeling is so strong that I left 2 coffee mugs out on the counter, which I never do. I only leave mine out that I'm going to use. But I'm not supposed to drink tea yet or anything. I'm supposed to wait. I don't know what the fuck. It's weird. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's this whoever whoever it is. I'm going to be very, very happy to see them. And then I've been hearing the song for the past few hours. I've never heard the song except when people share it to their stories on like Instagram. It's by that Olivia Dean. I get so easy. I think it's so easy to fall in love. Da, 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 I don't know, it's been the past couple hours. It's kind of freaking me out a little bit. I ain't gonna fucking lie. Yeah. I don't know. So I got everything done. The last little laundry is in the dryer. It's probably gonna have to run 2 more times till it's done. Little dryer size. Little portable dryer. 200 minutes each time. Excuse me. Like, I don't know. It's so bizarre. And it was so much so, the feeling is so strong about this that I did something that I never do. I washed the clothes that I had in the washer to wash. I washed those. And then after I put them in the dryer, I immediately washed the last bit that I had. And then put those in the dryer when they were done, and now they're all in the dryer. I never do that. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But I have a feeling, obviously, it's going to be something really good. And I'm going to be very happy about it. At least I think. I don't know. Yeah. So, that's what's going on here. Dealing with, trying to process everything, and then all of a sudden I feel like I'm supposed to get everything done, and people are coming to my house to visit me. I don't fucking know. I do not know. But, and even so much so that I even felt like I had the feeling like I wasn't supposed to have any. I'm supposed to get rid of the leftovers. I had the chicken stuff in there that I made yesterday. A little bit left, and I was gonna wait like for lunch tomorrow or something. Something told me to eat it tonight, so I ate it, and then I washed the pan and put it away. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I have no idea. Somebody's coming. That's all I know. I got goosebumps. That's what's weird. I've never had this feeling before. I've never this is new for me. This is really new for me. So I'm not sure what to expect. But I hope I'm right. I hope whoever it is or whoever they are, hopefully it is. Hopefully I will be happy about it and it's not a bad thing. Hopefully it's a good thing, not a bad thing. You know. Maybe I'll get lucky and it's the only person in the whole world that I trust. That would be nice if it was Frankie. I don't know. That's the thing. It's just a very, very strong feeling I have. And I talk about it and I get this like electric static throughout my body. I've been trying to process everything. The fact that I'm in the fucking files. And it's. Yeah. And while trying to process this, crying off and on and everything else, earlier, all of a sudden I got this feeling that I was supposed to get everything done in the house, all my laundry done, get things put away, um, shower, all that, and everything shower. Even to the point where I felt like I was going to pass out, so I got an ice cream bar, and I got chocolate in my hair, so I had to wash my hair. Weird. That doesn't happen. Um, so I took my shower and everything, and I got everything done, and then something told me to eat the leftover stuff I had made yesterday, which I was planning on eating like tomorrow or something. I wasn't going to eat it today. It's very odd. But when whoever it is, or whoever they are, I don't know if it's one person, two people, I'm not sure. But I think that I have a feeling I'm going to be happy about it. I'm not sure. I just have this strangest feeling. And then I had that song in my head for a couple hours now by Olivia Dean. And I've only heard it when people share it to the stories. You know, I think it's so easy to fall in love. La, da, 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 la, da, da, da. I don't know, it's weird. I don't know. I hope I'm right, and it is somebody that I hope that I'm going to be happy about this. And that it's not going to be, dude, I've known for 20 years and a bunch of government people, because I'm not going to be happy about that. This whole thing is, like, I'm the type that I don't give a fuck how big this is. You don't embarge on me like that. You know, for that kind of, I can't. Like, my anxiety would not handle it. You know. So hopefully it's a good thing, and I'll be very happy about it. Because I know that someone is coming. The person I've known for 20 years, though, um, had a conversation with him yesterday. When I called him, he answered, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" I said, and I'm like, "Am I in the files?" And he says, "No, I told you you're not. You're safe." I said, "Then why are my memories in the files?" I haven't read the files, but I'm told that my memories are in the fucking files. What files do you think? What files were released? And when he goes from, "What I told you," then he goes from that when I said, "Why are my memories in the files?" He goes to, "That's why I was coming out to talk to you in person, and I have some things to show you." If I'm not in those files, why would you need to come show me anything and talk to me in person? Uh, I didn't even know. I didn't even know until a few people said on my live that read the files. The things I've talked about are in them. So I'm dealing with this the best I can. you know. And yeah, it's not FBI. But yeah, I've known this person for over 20 years, for about 20 years. Hey, um, I don't trust him for reasons because he's also part of that cult. So I don't know if I can trust him or not. But he's lied to me too many times and I don't trust him. The only person I trust is Frankie. Well, I trust someone else too, but for reasons that person gained my trust. Um, and they haven't done anything to show me otherwise. So I wish he was my husband. I would marry him in a heartbeat. Been in love with the man for 5 years, and he knows. And I've told him, if you don't feel the same way, just tell me. You tell me to my face. You can tell me in a letter. You can tell me in Skywrite. You tell me on the phone. You tell me on a Zoom. Tell me. Just tell me. Tell me in a DM. Type it out. I said it. I said if you don't feel the same way. The man left me on red, but we do flirt a lot. But for me, it's hard to know when a guy likes me and when he's actually flirting, if he's flirting with me or if he's just being nice. Like the video I have that someone sent me 2 days after the first time we met in person. He was very touchy feely. Okay. Hands all in my hair and everything. But I just thought he was being nice. I thought he was being nice. You know, when you have evil monster voice in your head. He would never be with something like you. Don't embarrass yourself, that kind of thing. But she didn't say it like that. Bella dared me to tell him how I feel and tell him how I felt and ask him out. I'm like, alright, bet. And Linda says, why would you do that? I was like, what? She's like, why would you embarrass yourself like that? I was like, what are you talking about? Why would you say that? And she said, look at him and look at you. He would never be with something like you. Not someone like me, something like me. Something like me. That's a very odd statement, isn't it? And I just took it as a really a really horrible insult. You know, coming from someone who was supposedly my mother, my adopted mother, who I grew up knowing as my aunt. Um, he would never be with something like me. Hmm. Very, very interesting, isn't it? But yeah. So, it is what it is. But I know somebody or some people are coming to see me. That's all I know. I don't know who. I don't know when. But it's going to be soon. Like, really, really soon. So we shall see. Or I shall see. Anywho, how is everyone else doing? When's the last time you saw me? I am in my bedroom. Maybe where am I? I'm in my bedroom at my home. Am I for now home? Um, you know, where I'm chillaxing on my bed. Yeah, well, I don't feel like standing there. I just needed a bit of a change. And because this last week it was so cold, my room is the warmest room in the hall in my house. Oh, excuse me. And the temperature inside my house. Oh, excuse me. Okay, this should tell you how cold it was outside. My thermostat was set at 72. Because I don't put it at 72 usually. I have it at 65, 66. I turned it up to 72. It got down to 52 degrees in my house over the weekend. 52 degrees inside my house. It was like 30 degrees outside. Felt like negative 14. Yeah. Where am I from? Mars. I don't fucking know. Nope. Didn't lose the power, thankfully. Yeah, it's fucking cold. I don't like the cold. I hate the fucking cold. I'm from Mars because I like to get more candy bars. Why are you asking me where I'm from? I don't know where I'm from. Fuck that. Yeah, I had the door closed, something in front of the door, my blankets, my sweat, my warm pants, and then my black hoodie, warm. You know the one I wear that says Juicy across it. Yeah, yeah. It was nuts. It was crazy. Yeah, because y'all aren't used to that. What you do is you get electric blankets just in case. It's good to be prepared. So you know, make sure you get some electric blankets, electric heaters. That way, if this happens again, you'll be prepared. Because you never know when it'll happen again. Shit. Like, I've lived in places like Colorado where there would be blizzards. If the thermostat was set at 72, it stayed at 72 in the house, okay? Having my thermostat at 72 and it getting to 52 degrees in my house is insane. I've never heard of heated socks before you mentioned them. I need to check some of those out. Shit. 4 hours and 20 minutes. Oh, 4 hours and 20 minutes. I'm excited. I can't wait till the song's released. Okay, so I gotta ask y'all something. Because I'm confused about something. So I posted some stuff on my story on Insta, and one of my mutuals replied, yeah, sent a emoji reply. Only I'm not sure what it's a purple spot. That's all it shows is a purple spot as the reply. What the fuck does that mean? What does a purple spot as a reply to a video mean or reply to a story mean? That's all it showed. It was a purple dot right under the story as a reply. The song is called "For the Rest of My Life." It is it's like the perfect love song. It means nothing. That's helpful. It has to mean something. In this case, it has to mean something. Trust me. I just don't understand. Why would they It's so bizarre. Why would this person reply with like a purple dot? I don't know. Code for what? I'm like, I have been trying to figure it out for hours. What would it be a code for? I wonder. I don't think I don't think it's a code in this case. Oh, I don't think it's a code in this case because if it was a code, it says code purple is most commonly a hospital emergency code indicating a child abduction or a missing child patient. What? I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. Uh, well, it actually might be. I had to look up more context for it. I'm not sure. Like, my mind just, you know. Huh. Hmm. Well, okay. Okay. Um, uh, hmm. I'm pretty sure I found the answer, and it only took me a few hours. Interesting. That's all I'm gonna say is interesting. Anyways, I may be very intelligent, but I sometimes am slow on figuring things out. I have a detective mind and everything, but when it comes to matters of certain things, I don't always quite pick up what certain people lay down. If you get my drift. Yeah, I'll be right back. I gotta go start the dryer again. Oy. Wrong name. I don't go by that name, sorry. Oy. Is that supposed to be some pathetic attempt at an insult? Am I supposed to be upset about that? Hurt? Would it's awful pathetic. You know. When people want to try and bully me about because I have problems getting up, I know what they're insinuating. I'm not stupid. But quite the contrary. The reason I have problems getting up, to be quite honest, is because I have osteoporosis and I have arthritis throughout my body. Things like that. But trust and believe I can whoop some ass. I lift between 50 and 100 pounds now. I'm going back to that. Instead of 75 to 100. I'm going to go 50 to 100 and 100 count of each thing. So, people are so fucking pathetic. You know? I'm here. I'm hanging out. I'm hanging in there. Hanging in there. Yeah. Um, I'm in the files. I'm in the files. I found out because I had people commenting a few nights ago on the live that things I've talked about, they've read in the files. And then it was confirmed without being confirmed. To me, by the person I've known for 20 years, who's working for the government. I called him. He's like, hey, what's going on? I said, am I in the files? He's like, no, I told you you're safe. You're not in the file. Yeah, I told you you're safe. I said, then why are my memories in the files? And he said, that's why I'm planning on coming out to talk to you in person about. And I have some things to show you. And evidently he did not want me to know until he can get here to see me or whatnot, because there are victims taking their lives and he's worried about that. And I said, this is new to me and fresh to me, and I just need time to process it. I'm not going to do anything like that. So, darling, I strongly suggest, for your own good, that you just scroll the fuck on. If you're doing what I think you're doing, that is the dumbest thing you could do now. After everything. After everything that's come out, the fact that there is no doubt, there's no possible way Okay? It's fucking all real. All my goddamn memories are real. And I still gotta deal with that bullshit. Knowing what I know and trying to process the shit. I still have to deal with that nonsense. These people need to go back and worship the ground Gypsy walks on and leave the victims alone. Leave the real victims alone. Go worship Gypsies. The ground Gypsy Rose Blanchard walks on, because that's what they fucking do. They worship the ground on an unaliver walks on, but real victims they will torment and try and re-victimize to where they push them to unalive themselves. That bitches ain't gonna happen with me. You got the wrong motherfucker. I said it before and I'm gonna say it again. I will not let anything or anyone ever destroy me. Or my life. Including anything I've ever fucking been with through, no matter how horrific it was. Because I'm still here. I survived. And I refuse to live as a victim. I'm not a victim. I'm a survivor. That's why I say I'm a survivor. Unless you've walked a mile in my shoes, you might want to think before you walk a mile in my shoes. Then we can chat. But if you think you're going to come at me, you might want to stop and rethink that thought, and not type a fucking word, and then stop and think, what if it was you that went through what I went through? Or what any of the other victims and any of the other survivors went through, and what we saw. You have no fucking idea what it was like. People read it, but that does have nowhere near compares to experiencing it. The Epstein Files. I'm in them. It's okay. It's okay. I have some, the ones that like to try and re-traumatize the victims and the survivors and that. Yeah, I have some of those coming on. The ones that worship the ground a murderer walks on, but will traumatize or try to re-traumatize actual victims. Oh, what a fucked up world this is. That shit don't work. I'm handling it. I'm doing the best I can to deal with it and process it. I didn't even know, but until people told me when I was live a few nights ago that the things I've remembered that I've talked about are in the fucking files. And then I got a hold of someone I've known for 20 years who works for the government, and he answered and he said, "Hey, what's going on?" I said, "Am I in the files?" He says, "No, I told you you're safe, you're not in there." I said, "Then why are my memories in there?" I haven't read it, but I've heard that my memories that I've talked about And that's when he said, "That's why I'm planning on coming to talk to you, and I have some things to show you." And that there have been victims taking their own lives. And his word, I said, "This is new for me. So I need time to process. I'm not going to do anything. I'll be okay. I just need time to process it." You know. So I'm doing the best I can, and I'm doing my best to keep it together. The thing is, I have bits and pieces of memories throughout my life, and I'm starting to remember more, and then seeing things, and but like the memories I started having back in the summer of 2023, like about being in that basement dungeon thing with the fireplaces and the pillars and the torches, and what they were doing to the children. And the screaming. Sorry. I'm okay. Really. It's just that was the first memory I ever had. And then it's been slowly progressing, and I remember being kept in a cage and being transported in a trunk and put in a bag or a suitcase of some sort. And I was told things I don't remember are far, far worse than the things I do remember. I will not read those files. And for anyone that's been sending me things about the survivors, please don't take offense to this. Please, but I can't handle that right now. You know what I mean? So please, out of respect, I'm asking not to have anything sent to me from other survivors or anything about the files or anything. No, but the person I've known for 20 years works for the government. I'm not reading the files. Like, that's not happening. I've been told the room with the tunnels and everything else with the murals. Yes, that's the one. That he said that he was coming to see me in person. He needed to show me some things. He's also the one that confirmed that I was in fact abducted and trafficked. So there's that. So it's been a few days, and I've been doing my best to process it. Well, evidently, at some point, I guess, in the files and other survivors have talked about, from my understanding, have talked about that cellar in the basement that I talked about with the fireplace, the pillars with the torches. The walls were made of stone, like different colored stones. There would be a pillar with a torch on it, and then there would be a fireplace, and then in front of it there'd be a pillar with a torch, and then a fireplace, and there was another pillar with a torch and another fireplace. Um, Evidently, others have talked about the same place, and that apartment that I thought we lived in at one point. I'm pretty sure we didn't live there. I was just taken there every now and then. There was no dresser, no clothes, just toy. You go in the room and there's a bunch of toys right here in this little area here, and then there was a canopy bed on this side, and then you go over to the canopy bed and say you're sitting at the end of because the canopy bed. Say here's the front. That you walk in the door, and the canopy bed is a long ways this way. In the back of it's like in the center of the wall, like my bed is, and right across. So you go and you sit on the foot of the canopy bed. So you would be if you look up, you'd be looking at a landing, and on this side of it there was on the side there were like 3 or 4 steps going up to the landing, and then in the middle there was a door, and I was told never to open the door. I opened the door. um, there were it was like a long hall, and there were religious mural paintings on both walls. Really pretty, really bright, beautiful colors. They were religious paintings, like the sky. There was like lambs, flowers. It was very pretty paintings on both walls. And so I told the woman that lived downstairs who babysat me, I guess, every now and then. All I remember is being at her place a couple times. But she came and checked it out. She went with the flashlight. She went all the way, and she was gone for 2 hours. When she came back, she said there was no ending to the tunnel. It just kept going, but the paintings were all down both sides of the walls, not ending. It was like I guess they kept repeating. They would paint so much and then start the same paintings over, something like that. But yeah, we didn't. I don't think we lived there. I would be taken there. We would stay there a couple nights or whatever, and then go back to our apartment to where they could come in and do what they wanted to do, or they took me to wherever they took me. That's how they transported the children, was through the tunnels that are in the bedrooms. There are tunnels in bedrooms. They will be behind doors. They will make it appear like they are closeted. You would think it was like the Never-Ending Story, or the the what Lion Witch and Wardrobe or whatever. That's not the case. There's no wardrobe. It's just you open the door and it's a tunnel. But there's a door there to make it to like for a cover. But there's no dresser. There's no dressers. There's no clothes. It's just a bed and there's toys. There's toys in the room. You don't have to know. You don't have to believe me. I don't give a shit. It's been confirmed. I'm in the files. I have bits and pieces of fucking memories. And I have scars that I got from being burned by cigarettes. Being branded. I have 3 scars. And they told me that I unscrewed the canopy and jumped on the bed and landed on the screw 3 times. I've had medical, nurses look at the scars. And they said, no, there's no fucking way. There's no possible way. Those are from cigarette burns. I was branded. And it's on my upper inside my right thigh. And I got the scars at that house, at that apartment. And the apartment is upstairs. The tunnel, the beginning of that tunnel, is upstairs in the biggest room in that apartment. And I don't know where that apartment is, except it's in Davenport or Bettendorf, Iowa. Most likely Davenport. Somewhere in Davenport, Iowa, there's a house. There's 2 apartments in the house. There's one upstairs, one downstairs. You go up the stairs and you go through. There's an apartment here, and then there's the staircase going up. And I think the banister of the staircase was black or very dark brown. It was painted, and I remember it was shiny. You go up the stairs, and then there would be the apartment, and there was the living room. Then there was the kitchen, and over here was there was only 1 bedroom. There wasn't 2 bedrooms. There was 1 bedroom. I didn't have the biggest room. There was only 1 bedroom. And I'm pretty positive I'm not the only child that was ever taken there. Obviously. Or transported from there to wherever I was taken to. Also, I remember I'd been pushed in a wheelchair or something, wearing a gown, and it was a tunnel. It was like not a gown, not a nightgown or anything, but it was like a hospital gown. And it was in a tunnel. Because all the walls were concrete, and even the top of it was concrete. And there were the light bulbs with the cages over the light bulbs, little cages over the light bulbs. In the center, and there'd be one, and then so far down there'd be another one. It went like that. I'm starting to remember more, and I'm not sure. I don't want to remember anymore. And there was another time I remember being. I was with Linda and Ralph by this time. It was in Denver, Colorado. I was admitted to a hospital for something, but I was the only one on that floor. And it wasn't that I remember they did like electrodes to my head at one point, and then they had me do these looking at the cards, and even doing word puzzles and things on a computer and writing out a bunch of shit. But I remember one thing specifically. I remember there were 6 grown men surrounding my bed when I was laying there. And they were holding me down and trying to get blood out of my legs. At least that's what it seemed like. I don't remember much after that. They weren't trying to get blood out of my legs, they were trying to inject me with something. That's why they were holding me down. Because why would you get blood out of a child's legs? Then again, why would you? Never mind, I think we already know the answer to that. So God only knows how long I've been there, where I was transported to, or anything. Hey, um, Jesus fucking Christ. Hang on. Mm, Hello? That was my landlord. So, so, and, talking about signing the lease and everything. Because, yeah, so, sign the lease next week. Isn't it funny how so many people said I was being, you know, evicted? But yet, this is going to be my 3rd year? My 3rd lease here? Isn't that funny? Anyways, I want to remind you everything happens the way it's meant to, and everything happens for a reason. Oh, excuse me. Because obviously, whenever I go over yonder, I'm still gonna need to have this place here until for the time being, until whatever happens happens. So, you know. So how's everybody else been? It's been a very interesting, emotional, insane fucking year, 2 years, especially lately. You know, it's like honestly, it feels like it's gonna sound so weird. I feel like I'm like the main character of a movie that I don't know is being filmed. I'm sorry to hear that, John. Is it because of the cold? But yeah, I feel like I'm like the main character of this movie. It's being filmed, but I don't know about it. That I don't know that I'm starring in a movie. It's weird. It's it's kind of like the Truman Show. I think that's the best way I can fucking put it. You know, it's just fucking beyond the realm of insanity. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully, it'll be better. You know, after you have the surgery. You gonna have it replaced, or are you having your hip replaced? I'm alright. I refuse to let anything or anyone destroy me. Because nothing, and I've said this many, many times, nothing will ever change what happened to me, no matter how horrific it would, no matter how much we would love it to, right? Nothing will ever change whatever happened to me. So instead of letting all that pain and all of it consume me, I would rather move forward and move on and live my life to the fullest and just heal from it. And hopefully, these people pay for everything they've done. And you know, I'm gonna prove who I am. That's neither here nor there. It's gonna happen. But I'm not going to let this destroy me because the only person it's going to affect is me. These monsters don't give a fuck what they did to us. None of them do. And I don't remember everything, which is probably a good thing right now. Because what I've been told, it, the fires were very, very bad. And I've already seen pictures that have been posted and videos and heard voice clips, and it's very it's kind of it's traumatizing, and it's like reliving shit. And then the wondering, did they do that to me? And that kind of thing, and they probably did, and I don't want to think about it. And so I'm not reading the files. I don't want to hear what's in them, and that's why I'm asking respectfully not to be sent anything anymore about from others, other survivors. Nothing, because like I need to. I'm doing my best to process it and be able to you know, but it's still very fresh, and it's hard seeing the videos and hearing so many people talk about it, and it's hard for all of us because there's survivors that are taking their own lives because of this, because of a lot of things, and most cannot. The ones that remember everything, I think the reason I don't remember like that, other than it's very traumatizing, I was probably really messed up, you know, um, was because I was also living as someone in this fucked up family, right? So they couldn't keep me away for too long because people would see me. People would wonder where I was. Um, you know, like I remember bits and pieces of things. Yeah, I often wondered why the things I do remember that had happened to me, why I always remembered them. I'm like, man, I thought when it's so bad that you weren't, I was surprised that I remember it. Because of how bad it was that I do remember. But for me not to remember things, I don't even want to think about how bad it actually was. You know? I don't. But I know I'm going to when the time comes. And I'm sure I will hear about things before I ever remember them, obviously. And I am going to do everything I can to be able to just cope and move forward, and hopefully we do get justice and the right people do the right thing. You know, right now I think I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna have for dinner and just chillax a bit, and I'll probably go live after a while on my main account. So, I'm gonna try. That's the thing. I don't know how to rest. I never have. But it's resting. Yeah, to say the least. And then, with my Hashimoto's disease, when I get overwhelmed and stressed out, what happens? I get exhausted very, very quickly. I figured out that I've had the Hashimoto's disease. I've had it most likely my entire life. And you're telling me the doctors never caught it, right? Doctors never caught that I had thyroiditis. I'm just fucking exhausted. It's physically, mentally, and emotionally draining. And I will sit here and fall asleep without knowing I'm falling. That I fell asleep, and then the next thing I know, I'm awake again. This fucking shit sucks. All of it. I want to go to sleep and wake up and it all be just a horrible nightmare. Can I have that? Can this just be all a horrible nightmare? So yeah, I think it's best that I end this for now, and I'm going to get something to eat and maybe watch Mrs. Brown's Boys because that's my favorite show, and I watch it over and over and over again on reruns. So I've had people tell me they feel sorry for me, they feel bad for me, and I get it, but that's never been my intention for any of this. My intention with all of this is I want to help as many people as I can who need someone who truly understands what they went through and can help them. You know, I've even been called a hero, and I'm like, and here's the thing. Everyone wants to be called a hero, right? But I'm not. So, yeah, I'm gonna try and rest. Try being the keyword. So, hope you all have a great night. And until next time, I will see y'all later. And if I do go live with y'all later, I will be on the main account. So, y'all have a good night.